here, as we have a Moo Hubbard for the first ban out of Noxus. Nox is taking the blue side. And for Noxus, just a refresher for anybody, we have Karpewski in the top side, Clone at jungle, Fork on mid lane, Agatio, Season 2 kill leader, and he picked up his 200th kill last week in Marksman. And we have the Crimson Yoni as support for the Noxian Gladiators. And we have Zon Plague. We have, he's not in the lobby again, we have Orcas in the top lane, Whisper in the jungle, is fresh to the team, Whisper in the jungle, Spike in the mid lane, Sexy on Marksman, and the venerable Jags Hockey in support. And these bans are coming through now. A Moo band out for Nox, along with Syndra and Varus. So wanting to prevent perhaps Varus bot or mid. I don't know that Spike is a Varus mid player. I think that's more of a Fork special. So this Varus ban doesn't make too much sense to me. Not locked in quite yet. Maybe we're just considering. Will be locked. So we see Syndra and Varus banned out against the Zon Plague. So these must be target bans against Spike that I'm just not aware of. I don't know why else we would see them. Although Sexy is known to be a Varus enjoyer, so maybe we just don't want to see that power pick in the bot side for him. He has quite a few power picks he's ready to pull out, though. He'll tell you they're all power picks if you ask him, right? First pick, 5 seconds left for Nox. Leona coming out. Leona first pick of the round. So this is not, I would say, not a pivotal pick to come out for first, but we're going to have to see how their draft strategy develops. Seraphine hovered for Zon Plague. So Seraphine is definitely less common for the players of Zon Plague that I'm aware of, but this could be a Seraphine Ashe bot lane angle out of them for Sexy and Jags on the bot side. As we saw, I believe Karma last week from Jags, and we will now have no Ashe locked in. Gonna play some mind games again. They did this last week as well, and Pantheon gonna be the lock-in at the last second. So Pantheon taken for the Zon Plague. Where's this gonna go? I don't think Whisper is much of a Pantheon jungler. I'm picturing that this Pantheon is either gonna go for mid lane or top lane. Thinking this is an Orcas Pantheon, and we're gonna see an Urgot answering it. They also think that this is an Urgot, that this is a Pantheon top side, and they're trying to pick out against it. Of course, these teams, I would surely hope, had done more research into me on these matchups. As the weeks develop, we'll start including champion pools into the pre-show, and we'll give everybody a look at what people have played previously. Of course, at only week 3 in the season, it's difficult to pull much of a useful sample size, as we have the last pick of the first round. On to the Zon Plague. They've got their, what I would intuit is their Seraphine support, but potentially this could be a Seraphine mid lane out of Spike, and it's just the Ashe was to throw you off and make you think it was bot lane. Xin Shao coming in for Whisper. So Xin Shao saw a buff this patch. Let's go check in on that. See how he's doing. Xin Shao hasn't been keeping up with other junglers, making him less appealing to other AD fighters, so we're giving him a small boost to get him back in the game. So we're seeing, a small base damage buff on his Q. So it should be just more raw fighting damage out of Xin Zhao. The man himself. I'll make a man out of you. Tristana ban for Zon Plague to open up the second round of bans. Smolder. So after seeing the buff Smolder in game 1, we're not going to see it in game 2. Yep, ban locked in. Do not want to see that Sexy. Smolder coming across the top. He loves that pick, and after a buff, I would not be shocked to see him play it, but there's not a lot I would be shocked to see Josh play in the bot lane. He likes to play quite a few of those silly little carries. Kai'Sa ban coming through. This makes sense. Not quite locked in, but when I read the patch notes and I saw that Kai'Sa got a buff, I knew that Agatio is going to be looking to play it. Let me skip this song. A little quiet. They're all kind of quiet, to be honest. And the Akali ban. So imagine this is against Spike. I think he, in his rookie sign-up interview, indicated that he liked to play Akali on occasion. Of course, we're considering this. I think we're not too committed to this Akali ban. Really just deciding, all right, we'll lock in, and now we're into the second round of picks. The picking section I find way more exciting than the banning section. Of course, banning is important, but as the spectator, as the caster, I think it's way more fun to see what they're going to pick and other than what they're not going to pick. It's important for the draft, but in the end, I just want to know what they're going to see on the Rift. I want to know what I can riff on. Nautilus hovered. Says on Plague, this would suggest a Seraphine Nautilus bot lane, I believe. The Seraphine's still a flex pick at this point. Because it could go mid. But otherwise, so currently no AD carry for Zon Plague, and they have a Pantheon lined up for the top side. So we're in not a lot of scaling out of this team comp, which is, I would say, is slightly unusual from a Jags are sexy draft. Nox, we've got Leona, Urgot, Jarvan, so we got a pretty beefy core. We're looking to pick up a carry and a mage, and there it is, Vladimir Caitlyn. Caitlyn seeing a small nerf for this patch. I don't know if it's enough to take her out of contention, but it definitely was enough to take her damage down just slightly. And then the Vladimir, of hard scaling pick in the mid lane. Vladimir really comes down to his certain tempo timings. He's a bit of a rhythm-based character due to the nature of his transfusion and the passive stacks that you want to get from it. And the Volibear locked in for Zon Plague. So 4 beefy engage with the Seraphine on the back end. Transition. Oh crap, I gotta make that box a little bigger. Give me just a second. Ooh. Ooh. I think it looks pretty good.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And we are on to the Rift for game 2 of week 3. Let me get out. Jag's gonna make fun of me. I'll mess this up again. But that should have us right as rain. Alright, getting into the game. Let me throw up the scoreboard. Do we have any missed purchases? We decided to go for a Dorn Shield early on, so I think this makes sense. You really don't want to find yourself poked down by the mid lane when you're playing Pantheon. I think Aurora is going to be looking to do plenty of that. Orca's in the top side, also finding a Dorn's Blade for himself. I think both trying to make sure they lean into a bit of safety in the early game. And yeah, across the board, because they have even it's Seraphine Nautilus bot lane, so what's more safe than that? Seraphine Senna? I don't even know that it's true, because you wouldn't have the beefy man himself. Alright, it's not first blood, but, you know, first blood. Drawn to the match, Fork landing damage down on Spike, and we're just going to see how these lanes develop. Yeah, 2 Qs landing, that's a lot of poke down in the mid lane. Just going to let the directed camera take us around for a moment. Both junglers starting in the bot side, going to be pathing up, so we may see a transition gank into mid to try to unlock Spike slightly. It would be very nice to pick up an early flash on the Fork. Of course, level 2, I want to make that difficult. Glad that he dodged out that poke. And level 2 picked up by Pantheon. So Jarvan definitely a little bit ahead on this clear. The Jarvan also seeing a buff this patch, 10 AD on his Q, I believe. Karpewski just letting this wave come into him, picking up a little bit of farm. Nothing of note too much happening in the match so far. So maybe let's try to do some predictions. I'm thinking that both mid laners are somewhat gankable. Aurora's not the most gankable, but definitely with Pantheon to set up, you can find some openings there. In the top side, I don't know exactly how this matchup goes. I feel like if Urgot manages to find early advantages, it's going to be Urgot favored. But Volibear, man, Volibear on 2 items spikes so stinking hard. Maybe the level 13 when Urgot's got 2 maxed out abilities and he's got his infinite machine gun. Maybe that's the breaking point. I'm not sure. But I believe the Volibear was picked into Urgot, so I would certainly hope that it's at least a decent lane for it. Wave bouncing back out towards Orcus now after an early push in through the Volibear passive. Both junglers on their last camps. Jarvan still with about a 5 to 10 second lead on that. See an engage or push forward from Jags, but no engage happens. Yoni with a Zenith Blade forward onto our sexy. I like the target selection there, but nothing to come out of it. Alright. Let's go take a look at Clone in the top side. Could see the roam down here onto Spike. Imagine we will. Engage comes through. Whisper to reinforce, but Spike already under half HP. Has the Ignite available. Will drop it. Looking to burst down Clone, and it's taken down. First blood going over Whisper. Welcome back to the LCC. Fork has no mana. They see that. Spike flashes forward, forces the flash out of Fork, and Jags on the rotate over to try to make sure that lands. Teleport out of our Sexy to enable the roam, or perhaps just a walk up, and they decided to that our Sexy was going to reset anyway, so just go ahead and get the teleport out. We have an invade out of Whisper out of the back of that fight, but I don't think he was able to find anything. All camps are already taken. Jags now getting his reset to match our Sexy, but I think not going to be an issue. So overall, 1 kill over to Zonplague, and Flash taken out of Fork. That's what we're going to be keeping an eye on, the ability for a regank out of Whisper. Of course, I say regank even though Clone started that one out. Ganking while that Flash is still not available, so they can set up a kill. This vision control on the blue side, setting up lots of wards on the river. Scrub through this real quick, and then let's settle back down onto the bot side. I think we may see some vision or some play coming out as we drop the vision back on. We have Whisper and Jags moving in for a lane gank. We have wards placed for our Sexy. Only checking out the pixel and the enemy blue buff, but I think they should know roughly where Clone is based on the time in the game. He should be clearing, yeah, the Raptors, of course, you know, with infinite vision. It's easy to see. Hey, Guster Posey. We'll mention. I'll talk about that after the game. Okay, we do have a website that you can see the stuff. All right. Engage down here from bot side from Whisper. I like the lane gank angle. I believe they got in. I looked away for a moment, but I'm pretty sure they got in there without being spotted. Will go for it as a way to try to find a pick for this dragon, but going to walk over nonetheless, and they should be able to pick that up. Let's check out the top side of the map. Have Karpewski and Orcas really just kind of smacking back and forth, but a Cole picked up out of our Karpewski is going to make a neutral lane state advantageous for him. And we have the classic Dragon trade going out across Dragon for first spawn of Grubs. And with such a neutral game state, this isn't shocking. Neither team wanting to overinvest on either side of the map. And so Clone looking to play for a little bit of the side lane pressure out of the Grubs, and Whisper instead trying to look for the stacking Dragons for his team. I think the Dragons are a decent win condition for their team. Of course, it's going to be a Hex Plate, and so I think that's really nice for them. Okay, Infernal. So we still don't know which kind of map it's going to be, but this is a nice first pickup. And to answer, Clone has taken the first spawn of Grubs. All 3 go over, so 1 objective apiece. And going to be spotted out by Spike. There's no reinforcements out of Whisper, so I think he's going to back off. As we have Jags roaming up to the mid lane, going to be spotted out by a ward. Fork will play it safely. And still pretty neutral game state overall. Both teams just kind of playing it slow, not wanting to give over too much. Checking on the gold. Pretty stinking even across the board. Just as I say that, Yoni going to eat a hook out of Jags, and then the Encore going to pull everybody back in. Agatio finding himself quite low on mana. Both summoner spells available. As I say that, he flashes to get away. Thank you, directed camera. Chase out of our Sexy, and the wind becomes lightning. Will reach, but not quite connect as our Sexy eats 3 tower shots and will be turned on by Agatio. No HP and very little mana, but that turnaround just takes a step too forward. Flashes, but still dies. He's going to want that one back. Wind become lightning out of Whisper. Looking for the dive, but the barrier is still available. He should know it's up. The bait out of the bot lane. 4 summoner spells burned, but the Gladiators managed to find themselves a double kill under the tower for free. Off the back of a gank from Whisper. Oh, I missed a solo bolo. Oh, man. Let's get a replay in from the mid lane. Left it on directed camera a little too long as we have the Between the Worlds. Fork just, yeah, finds the kill mid. Ignite not going to help him. Spike, let's get replay top. What's happening here? Engage in from Orcas. Karpewski on the Karpewski trying to kite back. We have Bull Bear ults through, and he just chases it all the way down. So, I mean, what's the total sum of the play? We have a double kill in the bot side for the Gladiators. Fork finds a solo kill mid lane for the Gladiators, and then Karpiewski gives over a solo kill to Orcas in the top side at the end of the combined play. And now we can check in on the gold. A little bit more action has actually happened. And we see the effect of that double kill in the bot side immediately. 3,500 gold compared to 2,700 gold. Of course, this is a Caitlyn compared to a Seraphine. So Seraphine going to still be able to make her mark in this game. Regardless, as a little bit of an enchanter girly herself. Doesn't need the most gold to make work happen. And indeed going to be going for a scaling build. We've got this Lost Chapter, perhaps building into Seraphines, perhaps building a Blackfire Torch to go along with the Seraphines. Time will tell. 2 kills down onto Agatio is going to be feeling it good there. I think having an AD carry when the enemy team doesn't, you always want to make sure that AD carry doesn't have too much power. Let me check in on the chat. Got it way over here. Get a chat. Beautiful. As we have a bit of a neutral game state at the moment. We do have a little bit of time in the buffer, so I'm going to zoom this forward slightly. Trade out of Fork, but just going to use the shield to block the damage. And we're definitely dropped back down into completely neutral game state. Jarvan looking for the gank topside, so we can keep an eye on that, but spotted out by a pink ward. The second spawn of Grubs in the next minute. Let me get those timers up. Second spawn of Grubs, 19 seconds. And the next dragon over a minute away. So going to be watching for which of these teams decides to roam up to the second spawn of Grubs. As we have Whisper going deep into the enemy side. Check it on there. And he's got to be looking for a gank. I don't know. Nothing will come of it. So second spawn of Grubs is now available. And not, as I say that, there's an engaged bot side. Jags with the hook forward. Encore following over Yoni. Shane CC'd, but we'll have to check in on that in a second as Whisper is taken down. Fork with the Between Worlds. Spike now running. Shield not available. Orcas is here. He has his ultimate. Oh my goodness. The outplay. Spike still managing to survive just a little bit longer. Orcas will fall as well unless he can use this blast plant to escape. He will buy himself a little bit more time. No kill goes down to the bot side, so they must have survived. It was close, but we had to keep our eyes on this topside fight as Orcas is trying to look for an execute, I have to imagine. Will he find it? Not quite. Clone gets the kill credit, and the second spawn of Void Grubs going over to the Gladiators. That will bring them to all 6 Void Grubs, assuming they manage to pick all of them up. And the second dragon now has got to be in the target for the Zon Plague. And Nox knows this. They should be walking over to contest. Yoni looking to drop some vision. Karpiewski on the top side. We're picking up some plates. But, yeah, the action's going to be over here. But I don't think they're just happy to give them. They've got 6 Void Grubs. We're going to trade these 2 dragons. We're just going to take it where we're strong. Not going to over-engage. So I can take a moment here. Just trying to take in what's going on. We're sitting at 6-2 at roughly 12.5 minutes into this game, with a slight gold advantage over to Noxian Gladiators. I think it definitely feels like they're in the driver's seat of this game. And I don't love this Pantheon pick in the mid lane, especially into Aurora. As I say that, a nice trade down will put Fork to under half HP. He's pushing forward, Ignite down. Jags on the roam. Jax has the flash, but won't look for the flash hook forward. Deciding to be a little bit more conservative there. We have the Noxian Gladiators pushing in the bot side, but there's 3 mid trying to force this dive. Wind Become Lightning will not connect. Jax tanks 1 tower shot. Spike looks for the critical spear to finish, but not going to be able to find anything. Oh my goodness! What's going on? I wasn't even looking. I have to scroll back up in the chat. Toaster and Roaster, thank you so much for gifting 20 subs. Everybody, we're gonna have less ads tonight, boys. Thank you so much. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you for the support. Zonplague looking deep now onto Agatio and Tribrush. Instead, they will connect on a Crimson Yoni. The Encore pulls them both forward. Crimson Yoni drops to 200 HP. Will escape for now. Agatio in the same situation. Yoni will fall to one more auto attack. Agatio trapped in the Cataclysm along with his jungler Clone. And Clone will now find himself dropped out. Our Sexy dies on the backside. Stop jumping to the top side, please. Goodness. It was fine. The play was over. But I think we might get a replay in there if nothing else is going to happen, of course. Could see a re-engage. I think Folk's should be playing this safe. And that play largely made off the back of the vision control that you can see in this bot side. So I'm going to give a quick replay there. Let's take it in. So you can see. Encore down. Got the damage. I have so many roars coming in. What's happening? Did I just subscribe? Damage over the top. And then Clone traps his AD carry in. I think he probably would have dropped anyway. I love this invis engage over here from Fork. Very well done. And then we need to peek up over into the top side and see how this fight went down. Karpewski with the dash forward, not going to be able to find the flip. Orcas manages to pick up his bonus shield. Will dive. Oh man! The frenzied maul, the restack, going to give him that kill. Huge amount of healing off the back of that. What a ballsy play out of Orcas in the top side of the map. Huge pickup for him. Under the threat of the Urgot execute, just decides to go deep and finds it. Great play from Orcas. Gonna go ahead and give us a little bit of zoom. We got that. Nice. When we do a little bit. Oh my god, it's still going. Do I need to mute that? What's happening? I'm technically not subbed because I try to keep an eye out for when we get ads in the stream, but I'm not going to complain. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to mute it? It's so loud. Okay, I hit it for now at least. Okay, slow this back down. Sorry it got crazy for a second. I'm thrown off. Another Encore connects on a Clone. Agatio free firing. They're making sure they don't aggress on our Sexy. This tower will fall, and he's going to have to fight for his life. Yoni on the backup. So even though Clone will fall, actually, in the 1v2, I'm able to pick up a kill. Not able to defend the tower, but on the top side of the map, the rest of his team is looking to pick up this Herald. So a known trade, perhaps, out of the Zonplague. As we have the... man, I keep wanting to call it Grand Starfall, but that's not it. Yeah, it is Grand Starfall. I'm right. I was right. Why did I second guess myself? As the Herald drops, man, I feel a little bit thrown off for sure by the 20 subs. Thank you so much for trying to throw me off my game. We'll just come back stronger after a little bit of sip check. A little sip as we have a lull in the action. We're back up to live almost. And what's the next objective on the map? Next objective, 15 seconds. This Ocean Dragon is going to be spawning. And this is the third dragon, so this will put Zonplague at soul point. I'm really expecting to see a stout defense of it out of Nox. As Karpewski finds himself engaged on by Orcas, gets the better of the flip this time. They will come out even in the end of the trade, and we need to get down to that dragon. Please, spectator, do not do this to me. Alright, we've got it on manual. We're fine. As we come to this dragon fight, the Herald, or the Scuttle, will fall to the Noxian. So that's a nice pickup for them. Gonna have some nice vision control. Both teams looking for an opening, trying to contest this vision a bit. You can see the no vision available over the wall. As Whisper finds a nice engage on a Clone, he's dropped to half HP. Will drop the challenge to protect himself. 2 down now. Zonplague quite dropped to half HP, but they're all here together, and a nice hook catches out Agatio. Caitlyn will fall, and that's a... how many? This is a 3 for 0 for Zonplague on their Soul Point Dragon. Gonna be so happy to find that. Orcas with the TP down to reinforce. Karpewski doesn't have his teleport available. Will find the flip into the tower. Orcas taking some tower shots, but really just a chain CC to the death for him. 100% HP now, dropped to dead as the dragon falls in the background. Am I still getting the sound? What is happening? It's still going. What's going on? Is this another? How many subscribers have happened? Hype chests on the way. Toaster and Roaster, you're the GOAT. Good lord. Thank you so much again. The cat purring is constant. Okay. I'm gonna turn that off for now. If I can figure it out quickly. It seems to have stopped, so I have terrible timing. We had a lull in the action, so I gave it a go. Sorry, I need to turn this back on. I'm so sorry. God, Jax is gonna yell at me for it. Engage in the top side from Karpewski. Save the Orcas. Quite low, but as we know, Volibear really likes that extended trade. He's saved his ultimate. He's got that rend. Oh, but the finish from Karpewski is gonna find it. The teleport in from Arsexy in the backside to try to find an aggressive pick out, but Fork to match, and Arsexy will find the better of the trade with his teammates behind him. Yoni also moving to rotate, but goes through the river, and Karpewski is cut off. Flash not available, and Jags will pick up the kill on the end of that. Clone looking for an engage down on Spike in the bot side. So more? It's still happening? I'm just gonna let it happen. Whatever. You're just gonna have to listen to the the Dr. Pepper sponsorship coming in hot. Goodness gracious. I don't think so. I think he deserves some of the... Sponsor the boosted support, Dr. Pepper. Engage from Clone on the bot side. He loves to go deep with the Jarvan, really with all of his picks. He's going to Q forward again, but not going to find the flag and drag. Not sure if that was intentional or he just knew he didn't want to re-engage that. I think it could have been quite dangerous. You do not want to be playing with Pantheon when you're approaching a 3rd HP. And Spike knows that. He's watching, trying to bait him out. Tower will be taken by Zon Plague, so even though a bit of priority in the early game, leaning towards Noxian Gladiators, definitely the Plague able to find their footing in the coming into the mid-game. Fork, however, jumping down to the bot side, he does not know that Arsexy and Whisper are right behind him. Wind Becomes Lightning will not connect. Agatio and Yoni coming through the Tribe Rush. There is no vision available for Zon Plague. I'm waiting with bated breath. Hang on. Okay, an engage in from Yoni with the Zenith Blade. We will have the depth charge going down onto Clone, going to lock him in place. Flash out. Whisper going to use his Grand Challenge, but really not going to block much damage. Yoni will fall. Otacon's available, but Karpewski is sneaking down this river. He's going to channel a reset. Is he on vision? He is not. I don't think they saw him walking down unless they caught it on the mid-river ward. Will teleport out. And Orcas teleport up. Let's check the timer. To him. Okay. Thanks, Riot. That's not what I was looking for. I really hope everybody likes cats, because apparently we're going to have a lot of cat growling. But I don't know how to... I can turn it off entirely? Hang on. I know how to do this. I swear. I'm going to give it one more... Okay, we're engaged. Whisper. Wind Becomes Lightning will connect. Piltover Peacemaker as well. But no play to come of it. Again, thank you so much for these. I'm trying to send you a Discord link, but Twitch is refusing to send me a 2-factor verification. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave that till Jags comes back, but I think there should be a description at the bottom of the on this of the LCC a bit underneath the stream where you can read about it. I'm filling in for Jags, who this is usually his channel, as you can see, Jags Hockey 15. But I'm on the stream while he's in this game. You can check out the Nautilus player on the Zon Plague. And he'll be back on the stream afterwards to speak with all of you when I go into my match where I'm going to try to beat Hope. It'll be fun. Otacon is on the map as the major object, as the epic monster. Dragon spawning soon, and currently Zon Plague is sitting at their soul point. So if they manage to pick this up, it'll be an Ocean Soul with 4 beefy boys plus a Seraphine. If you're Noxus, you really don't want that to happen. So I think we're going to see a big fight at this next dragon. Arsexy moving out to the top side. Teleport available on Arsexy as well as Orcas, so we're going to see them splitting to the side lanes. Grand Starfall is available for Spike. But it's not quite as far range, so you kind of want them in a central location. I think these lane assignments make sense. But we've got a little bit of a trap from Noxus. Jax sniffs something. Whisper will push forward. No vision, but they were just sniffing it out. Perhaps I missed where they saw what was going on. Oh, I've spilled my drink slightly. Just going to put that down, and we'll deal with it later. Ooh, a tense setup for this dragon fight. All right, take it in. This is the gold state. Everybody take a look. Pause it if you want to see it, because it's gone. No more seeing that. We're seeing the action. Engage from Jags onto Karpiewski. Will find the hook. Spike jumping forward as well. Damage down on the fork. He is dropped low. Will fall. Agatio also engaged on. Spike drops so low. Jags will escape with his life. Karpiewski managing to find and execute. The fear will land onto several. And Orca's now dropped low. Oh, it's a brawl as every single person in the game is here. They're fighting to the death, and it looks like the Zon Plague could come out on top, but Whisper, the last one, will fall to the Noxians. Crimson, Yoni, and Clone. Oh, man, what a team fight. Oh, there's nothing else to see. They're just going to take this dragon. Everybody's dead, so let's get a replay. As we're going to see Jags with the engaged. Nautilus hook connects. Spike jumping forward. I'm watching the backline this time. We have Clone with a dive backwards onto our Sexy, and then Karpiewski follows up. And that's how the Seraphine gets knocked out. If the Seraphine is not tended to in these fights, it's a menace. Orca's coming in from behind the pit, so I don't think quite connected on the same page. If he had been here from the very start, they may have been able to cut down Agatio fast enough to finish this fight out. But as it is, Clone manages to sneak it out for himself with Ioni as well. Well played. We're going to zoom forward a bit to try to catch back up. I'm curious to see if they make the mistake of walking over to Otacon here, but I don't think they will. I think most people have learned that that's not the best move unless you have quite a bit of control. I try to treat the prep for the Otacon a bit like prepping for Baron. You know, it's not quite as serious, but it is a pretty powerful buff. A powerful little epic monster. And Zon Plague recognizes that, which is why they're going to bring everybody out to the bot side. They have vision in the Trag Rush. No vision down for the Noxians, but they will bring their whole team over here to try to contest. Zon Plague 5, Noxians 5, 6,000 HP on Otacon, 5,000, engage deep. Oh, what do we even focus? It's over in a flash. Agatio engaged deep by Wind Becomes Lightning. Zon Plague looks like they're getting the better of this one, even though the engage coming out of Nox looks so scary at the start. Fork able to find the Between Worlds onto 5. But not able to push them out. I think Karpiewski was unable to get deep onto our Sexy that time and find the execute. And the longer the fight goes with Seraphine in it, the more healing and CC she's putting down. 5 members walk away for Zon Plague that time, as opposed to the 2 members for Noxians last time. So that really shows that depending on how these fights play out, it can go either way. I think the biggest threats for both teams are going to be these ranged characters. You need to get onto them, and you need to really stick to it and make sure that execute comes through. Let me get the items back up here. Now let's take inventory on what heal cut is in the game. I see a heal cut item for Karpiewski. And that's it. And so that's kind of tough. We've got an Ignite on Yoni, but other than that, there's so much healing and shielding coming out of Zon Plague. With the combination of it's not the 3 talent strike, but it's in Xiao's passive, providing him with that healing. There's healing out of our Sexy onto across the whole team. He has gone for a full AP build. We do not have a Rylai's out of him, so looking to just utilize, have more damage as opposed to that guaranteed CC. He thinks his team's got enough, and I think I would agree. Still at sole point for Zon Plague after they lost that team fight at the the 4th dragon for their soul. The feats are over onto Noxus. 45k almost for Noxus, almost 49k for the Zon Plague. And I'll throw up on the screen. You can check out their gold totals. Excuse me, as Zon Plague opens up a siege in the mid lane. When comes Lightning's not going to connect. And this shield, this should be a relatively safe way for them to push. It's going to take them some time, but they definitely have lots of ways to heal up, so they can hold the siege for a long time. And the Baron just makes it easy. They just got to defend this cannon. And if they can afford to stand in front of it and just eat the damage for it, they're going to collect themselves a set of cannons. And here they have the second one grouping. Only person who's able to really clear those is going to be Agatio. And he's forced back to reset. Picks up a QSS. So really this QSS, I think, looking to avoid the Encore and try to make sure he's able to space himself out a little bit better. Clone drops under half HP. I think he's going to have to just walk away here. They need to give this tower before they eat a hook. And Jax finds it. Arsexy brings him down. And Orca's, tanking quite a bit of damage, but going to be plenty healthy. As Fork moves over in Viz, they're going to reveal themselves. And now Spike knows that he's got a little bit of leeway to either push in this top side or use his Grand Starfall to connect. It's a lot like having a Pantheon in the jungle. Yeah, the Oasis members coming in strong this game. That's right. Go Humps. Zonplague trying to rotate over. Fork will spot them out and manage to get himself out. So Plague really looking to try to force 2 inhibs out here if possible before they reset to go to this dragon. But I want to see them start walking to this dragon quite soon. I know they've got Baron, but Baron is temporary and Dragon Soul is forever. So, think about it. Alright, let's get a sip check rolling. Let's drop this down. Let's get a good vid. There's nothing much to talk about when they keep throwing out skill shots and then missing. As I say, that one connects over onto Yoni. But this is really just a siege stare down for the moment. And yeah, as I mentioned, Zonplague now roaming over to this dragon. I think they could have left a little earlier, but trying to make the most of every second of their Baron, I imagine. Before roaming over, they know they have complete control. They know that Nox is not leaving their base. There's no need to clear out wards ahead of time, so you can do a little bit of a later rotation over. The game now sitting at 14 to 23 in kills, 30 minutes into the game, and we are staring down Dragon Soul, Ocean Dragon Soul, for a team with 3 half tanks with a bruiser mixed in there, and plus a big Seraphine with a lot of support stuff coming over the top. So I'm terrified for the Noxians. I think we're going to need to see some heal cut coming out here. It's going to be really important that they manage to get those feats earlier in the game, because they need that extra gold to try to close this gap. QSS purchased out of Agatio after his second item, and that's Yoni gifting 5 subs coming in soon. That's true. We've got it pinned at the top. Remember, everybody, if Yoni loses this game, we're getting another 5 subs coming through. Of course, he may take a moment to find his credit card when he's crying after the loss, but sorry, Yoni. Sorry, the Crimson Yoni. There we go. But not quite there yet. There's still some League of Legends left to play. 6,000 gold lead, 31 minutes into the game is large, but we've seen that flip back before. I think the angles for Noxus to get back into this game, they need to hold out another 15 minutes and make me worry about being late to the next game. It's tough because I look down here at the Marksman gold, because I think Marksman and mid laner are the 2 areas where they can really look to get back into this game with AoE teamfight damage. I think Karpewski on the Urgot can be a powerful split laner with that money, or split pusher with that money. It's relatively even in the top side as far as gold goes. But the power coming out of this Seraphine in the teamfight, the Locket out of Nautilus, it makes it so hard to find these kills. You need to hit these item breakpoints in order to make the damage stick. And Agatio may be feeling some of those Caitlyn nerfs coming through. A little bit of less damage and, a little bit less gold. It really adds up. Seraphine with not the happiest start to the game, but very happy now, sitting at 9-4 and 11. As we're in a neutral state with the Baron coming up. Let's get an overview of the vision. So, yeah, Noxians finding a hard time pushing out. As Zonplague moves in together, searching. Will find it when it becomes lightning connection onto Karpewski. Reset will finish for Fork. And Zonplague's just going to clear out the vision again and walk back out. Spike standing on a ward. Not going to clear that out. And now onto the Baron. Pings down Both teams are aware. Let's check this out as they approach. Eclipse will land deep on his Jags, not onto any carries. Fork Encore connects down onto him. He will be pulled in deep. Noxians finding their way to the back line. They're managing to bring down our Sexy. It's huge damage on the backside. Agatio 1v1 into Orcas, but managing to hang on. Clone diving deep yet again over and over in this team fight. Will find his way onto Whisper, but not able to pick up the kill. Zonplague, I think, doing a bit of stat checking off the back of this Ocean Dragon. You saw that 100. Look at this healing coming in. It's a combination of the Xin Shao passive as well as the Ocean Soul. And Noxians take a big L in this fight as in the 2 for 5 ace for an advantage to the Zonplague. 16 to 28, 34 minutes into the game as this Baron falls. Inhibitor has respawned, but is open in the mid lane for Zonplague to contest again with this Baron. Last time they managed to pick up 1 inhib and their Dragon Soul, or 1 tower. It may have been 2 towers with the Baron. And then roaming over to pick up their Dragon Soul off the back of their high pressure. So I think going to be trying to pick up even more. I'm curious to see whether they go for a 1-3-1 split or perhaps a 1-4. Noxians looking to try to keep these waves pushed out, get whatever vision they can, and then reset because you need wards again immediately. The second the team fight happens, or not even the team fight, the prep before the team fight, you're going to be struggling for that vision control. And Clone really going to be putting in a lot of work in these team fights on the Jarvan, even though he's been being starved out of farm in a lot of these situations. You know, as the team that's playing from behind, you don't have that control of your jungle. Going to be very happy he managed to find even 2 of his camps before being forced back to defend a little bit more. Orcus trying to find a little bit of a cheeky play out of the bush. And we will set up in a 1-3-1. I think I would prefer to see Spike over in the side lane as opposed to Xin Shao. Perhaps they want to make sure they have that go button. But I want to see the Star Call give them the option to quickly rotate into the mid. Same function as having a Nocturne in the jungle when you're doing a 1-3-1 setup. A little bit of poke over the wall from our Sexy, but the Kanik recurring out of Clone, going to make sure he's not taking too much damage. Split 3-2 from Noxus, and a 1-5 or 1-4 from Zonplague. Need Agatio to be able to take it. Ooh, a hook lands out of Jags! Cleanse out of Agatio, or cleanse onto Agatio. With the QSS, will manage to survive just barely. A huge damage pop coming out of our Sexy when the Piltover Peacemaker holds him in place, and this tower will fall. Inhib down in the mid lane, inhib down in the bot lane, and I think that top tower is dropping as well. Noxus defending for its life against the undefeated Zonplague, coming into this week 2-0 versus the 1-1 Noxian Gladiators. 10 men now in the Gladiators base trying to push for this. All waves coming. Baron buff available with the supers. If they can hold out about another 30 seconds, they've got 6 supers coming for them down these lanes. I don't think the Baron buff's going to be up for them too much longer. But Clone will be hooked out. Yoni, oh man, what's going on? There's so much. A dive back deep will find Clone dropped. Agatio counter engaged on. Whisper looking to put down a lot of damage. Finds it. And an ace for the Zonplague. And that's GG for our undefeated team. We'll move to 3-0 after that game. Congrats for them.